Hi scientists, we've been learning that scientists know so much because they make observations and ask questions, and that's what you're going to be practicing today. You had some time to practice this last week by asking a question, and I noticed some things that I wanted to share with you that I want you to use to help improve your work this week. So as a scientist, it's important that when you're asking your question, it's going to start with how or why. And then even though we're scientists, it's important to pay attention to capitalization, punctuation, and spelling. Because if those things are missing when your reader is reading, they're going to get distracted. And if they're distracted by a lowercase letter, they might not be understanding the science that you're trying to tell them about. So you have a purpose. When you write this question, there's somebody who's going to be reading it, and you don't want them to get distracted. So when you start your questions, I'd like for you to start with a capital letter. Because it is a question, I'd like for you to punctuate with a question mark. And I'd also like for you to use the spell check in Schoology. I'll show you where that is in just a moment. So here are some examples from last week of students who used a capital letter, a punctuation of a question mark, and asked questions. So we have, how did the chain make a knot by itself? How does the ring get tied up with the necklace when it's outside of the necklace? How did the water bottle not leak any water? Why did the beads fly up then down? So now I have some examples that it could be distracting, and the reader could be distracted because there's some lowercase letters where there shouldn't be, there are punctuation marks missing, and there are some spelling errors. This doesn't mean that the people who typed this information, they're not bad people. They're just, it's just taking some time to think about, what can I do for my reader so that they are not distracted? So the first example we have, it does start with how. It's a question, and it is capitalized. How does the blue water travel through the rope to the other glass cup? Instead of a period here, there should be a question mark. I'll show you about spelling in Schoology in just one moment, so I'll come back to spelling in just a minute. Now, these next two start with I wonder, and I get it. I know you guys are wondering, but as soon as you put I wonder in front of it, it becomes a telling sentence and not an asking sentence. So instead of putting I wonder, I'd like for you to just start with the why. Why, when they drop a ring through beads, it always latches onto the ring. And now that we've started with why, it's a question with a question mark. This one, we can start with how, and it might need just a little bit. How did the chain go all together with a question mark? And this one starts with the word why. Why did all the magnets come out when she only pulled one out? But the reader might get distracted, so we're going to do a capital letter, and we're going to do a punctuation mark. So when you're in Schoology today, the directions are that you're going to think about the phenomenon you observed in the video. Ask a question about the phenomenon. Before you click post, does your question start with how or why? Did you capitalize the first word? Did you type a question mark at the end? Did you use spell check? Let me show you where spell check is. So when it's your turn to type, you click write a comment. And so like earlier we had, I'll type that word. So after I type my question, see right here it says ABC check mark, click that. Now, it sometimes takes some time. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Why is it not showing up? There it goes. So I clicked the box, and then I clicked again down here. And so now I can right click, and it's going to help me. And then, so see how I set up here before you click post? So please check these things, and once you've checked and done all of that, then you'll click post. If you have any questions, please email me.